If you get on Facebook and I've literally been on videos where I've seen people put the word, and I reply to it and say, your mom's a to a
and
racist,
and
I get the ban, dude.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg can eat my
I go back and forth in my confidence on whether or not the people will wake up to the fact that the only war we really need is a class war. But rich people are not doing a good job of, like, not making people hate them. I saw, like, a semi-viral tweet this week that was like, raising kids isn't even expensive. Your lifestyle's expensive. And just, like, shit in that vein, and I'm like,
let me tell you,
they're really pushing some buttons.
My lifestyle is. I spent $18.
You have an expensive lifestyle
on myself at Taco Bell.
But hey, in defense,
God damn,
that's how expensive it is now.
That's the point, and I'm proving them.
What you used to be able to do for $5 now costs like $12 to $15.
Yes.
At a fast food restaurant, there is no value meal
no,
anymore.
Fuck that. Tell me that it's
And the wages have not increased. I was just on Indeed today. Places are still offering $14, $15 an hour. It has not gone up. It's you might as well come up my ass.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Climb up in it, honestly.
Yeah, get inside of me.
And
you know
stand
what?
up. Climb up in there and then stand up in me.
Matter of fact, get yourself a speedboat and take it from my asshole to my balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
And take it on the launch ramp into my ass and my balls. Dude.
Yeah. Use that as a slope.
Yeah.
Use my balls as a slope. Ride it into my ass.
I would rather go,
Don't send a postcard.
No, don't. It's no return to sender here, buddy.
Well, here's the thing is, like, I don't think, here's where they got me wrong, I don't think there shouldn't be any rich people. I think everybody should be rich.
There it is.
And if that means that rich goes from being up here to being right here, so be it. I don't think everybody needs a fucking yacht the size of a mansion. In fact, I don't think nobody needs them.
No.
That's one of the things that I'm like, yeah. Even private jets, I'm like, there are. And I think there's always going to be people who's, maybe not always, but for the foreseeable future, people who are so famous or so, like, important politically that they'll need private air transportation. They can't just go in the normal airport. I get that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not a maniac. Take a bus, maybe drive or something, but I get it. But the yacht, I don't know. No excuse whatsoever. First of all, look at your neck, dude. No gills.
Crazy.
We're not meant for the water.
No.
Quit fucking around out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't enjoy it that much that I'd buy a fucking yacht.
People who own boats.
I can't wait to prove people wrong on that, too, because I always say that kind of shit, and they're like, oh, well, if you had the money, you would be different.
No,
and I'm like,
give me $1 billion today.
I can't wait to prove everybody wrong when I hit it.
Give me $1 billion today, I'll have $500 million tomorrow. I guarantee you that, dude. Yeah. And then I'll start spending on myself.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I think your average person, people don't realize this too. There's nobody alive today, nobody, that's super rich that was born poor.
Right.
It just doesn't ever happen. Like, there's these myths about started from the bottom, your Bezos, your fucking Gates and shit. But they didn't. They were born upper middle class. Really, they were born like middle class at a time when it meant something.
Yeah.
And their parents all had, and then you got like your Musks, whose dad owned a diamond mine in an apartheid country, which means it probably used slave labor. And, he was obscenely wealthy before he started his own company.
Right.
There's nobody, the best you get are, you ready for one, dude? I'm fucking fully torqued off this J. Here's the conspiracy. And it's, how I'm on this, the conspiracy theories are the conspiracy. I've gone deeper, dude.
Oof.
The QAnon
His third eye's open.
Oh, let's go after the celebrities are all pedophiles, the politicians. Nay, say I. Yay, a little bit. All right.
Sure.
But who are your celebrities? And these are the very few people. Your actors, musicians, and even some politicians. Not a whole lot, but some. These are the only roles in society where you can really start from poverty and like get to a place of not only notoriety but a little bit of money. But those people most of your artists and celebrities and shit, they're millionaires. And that used to be a huge fucking deal, but like millionaires is just like being upper middle class nowadays. It's the billionaires that are the fucking problems. So what do? They conspire to point no longer at the fucking super bottom part of society and say that's the problem. Say no, it's these rich people. It's not the ultra wealthy that have secret islands full of pedophiles. That's the thing with celebrities too. Most of these motherfuckers don't have private islands. Right. It's these fucking nameless billionaires and CEOs of companies. So I think part of the conspiracy is they're trying to throw the scent off by everybody has a problem with rich people, so they're like, oh yeah, celebrities. Those are the rich people you have a problem with. Some of them, yeah. Like, there's plenty of fucked up celebrities.
There's plenty of the diddlers out there.
I smell like they're trying to...
Puffy.
Oh yeah, Puffy's diddling. But, again, hurt people, abusers abuse. I think a lot of these people that are rich celebrities that are like got into stuff like that, I do think power corrupts and plenty of them are fucked up. But how many of them you think were like taught that type of coercion? Like, hey,
right, yeah.
You know, it makes you think about the Illuminati stuff. You know what I mean? I don't believe in the, oh, you gotta fucking wear a dress and humiliation ritual. But it's like,
ritual, bro.
You know, rich people like are fucked up. So
they said that about John Cena because he did that naked bit.
Oh yeah.
And they said that was the humiliation ritual, and I'm like, buddy.
They said it when he did the Barbie movie too.
I say, buddy, if looking like John Cena and being allowed to walk out on a stage butt ass naked is humiliating, then sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I know a little something about magic ritual, and it only works. A humiliation ritual only works if the person is humiliated. If you don't find it,
time of his life.
Yeah. If you're a man comfortable with his sexuality who recognizes that articles of clothing were a thing fabricated in the human mind and don't exist in nature and therefore cannot have a correspondence to sex or gender, okay, then you're not going to be humiliated to be in a dress. The fucking witchcraft's not going to work. You get to take the money and run. Guess what, dude? You can't sell your soul anyway. No. That shit belongs to Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
You can't fucking take collateral out on JC's name, dude.
It does, dude. You know what I've noticed lately? My algorithm on Instagram has been fucked.
Oh my god.
Because I have talked so much shit on religious videos that every day I got that old guy, Cliff, arguing with Muslim kids on the street corner about Jesus.
Yeah.
And dude, look, anybody that knows me on a personal level knows that I don't care about religion, but I don't
no discrimination in our nation, dude.
And I don't practice what you want. It's fine, whatever. But when I doom scroll Instagram, dude, I'm looking for three things, man. I'm looking for traditional tattoos,
music,
fucking wrestling, and music, dude. Like, I don't
skateboarding.
Skateboards. Like, I don't want to see.
Those are the only videos I like. But Instagram goes by what you comment on.
75-year-old man arguing with kids at a college campus about God.
Well, there's a whole new line of religious influencers too, and then obviously all of them super right wing.
But one the other day, it really bought because fucking people. Because I got in an argument with a dude IRL one time about the same subject, but they were talking about the choice of being gay.
Oh yeah, I remember when I made the choice to be straight.
Being gay is not a fucking choice. If it was, we could sit here right now and do it. And guess what? I can't. Whoa!
That's always what I say.
It's not a choice if you can't make it.
Yeah, I didn't pick to be straight or kind of straight anyway.
Right. Yeah, you know what I mean, what little straight I am, I didn't pick.
I mean, it really is fluid.
It's
but also I don't think you're necessarily born with a complete. I don't think you're born straight or gay.
Right.
I think you're born with probably like a leaning towards one or the other, and a lot of what you like experience kind of creates the narrow pathways in which you think you can experience sexuality, when in reality, everybody's born on a spectrum of sexuality. Most people, on average, are born straight up only attracted to the other gender, but, you know, I think people are too concerned with if you fucking kiss a dude, or if you're a teenager and you have gay thoughts, does that mean you were once gay? Or is that just a part of your sexuality during puberty? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't think there's any hard lines with it.
No.
Other than, like, you know, the only thing that makes you gay is being attracted to the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not physically attracted, then there's nothing gay there.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What choices are we making?
Right. This place sucks.
This place sucks, dude. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for joining us. We're still getting the ball rolling on these early episodes, but we're upping stuff. We're getting new gear. Yeah. It's going to get better and better. By the end of the year, we'll probably have a whole new studio.
Yeah.
So we're really popping off.
A small cowboy once told me better days ahead. And
yeah,
dude. Here
dude.
I am living in them.
A small cowboy once told me, he said, "Hey, man, get out of my miniature saloon." That's what he said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're going to have that on.
You ever watch that goddamn Ballad of Buster Scruggs, man?
No.
You never saw that?
Didn't see that, man.
It's got that fella from Holes in it. The counselor.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
No, not Shia. Shia.
Yeah, Shia
the
LaBeouf.
counselor that's like semi-effeminate.
I don't know his name.
He's been in a couple of things, but he was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He was one of the fellas.
Yeah.
Not George Clooney. Not the other guy that was in like Secret Window and shit, but the other guy.
Deeds.
And Mr. Deeds.
Don't forget that classic.
He was also, wasn't he in like The Godfather or something? Wasn't he in like a mob movie?
Yeah, he was in Godfather Part 2. He played the Godfather's son, I'm pretty sure.
He played John Leguizamo.
Yeah, he played Johnny Lasagna.
Underrated act. I love John Leguizamo, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good in a lot of stuff.
I like lasagna, dude.
Here's a hot take. Everybody hates on M. Night Shyamalan.
I love his
I
movies,
think,
man.
and I think people really started hating him around The Happening, but I think The Happening's a great movie. I would argue it's the second best movie Mark Wahlberg's ever been in. First one is Shooter.
Yeah.
Which, hear me out here. It doesn't seem like it because it's like a gun-fueled action movie.
Yeah. Very
leftist movie. I don't even think Mark Wahlberg realized.
He probably
it was like very anti-government.
He probably didn't.
Nah, dude. Here's the thing. We're going to work out. 4 a.m. crew. Getting up, working out, praising God.
Passion, dude.
He beat a Vietnamese man to near blindness. It's 2024. We ain't forgot. And no, I think he did beat him blind. Into permanent blindness.
This is the same guy that said if he was on the flight on 9/11 that it wouldn't have happened.
I'll tell you this,
and I'm like,
dude.
If there's anybody on the planet that could have got punked out by a box cutter, it's fucking Mark Wahlberg.
If Mark Wahlberg was on that plane, it would have been the first 2-for-1. It would somehow hit 2 buildings.
Yeah.
If he was on Flight 93, it would have hit the White House. We'll just say
for
that.
Sure.
Say, goddamn, we got to make sure this guy's not in any more things.
But yeah, I like M. Night Shyamalan, man, and I love The Happening. I think The Happening's one of the scariest PG-13 movies ever made, dude.
Well, dude, the horror scenes in it are genuinely creepy. All the suicide scenes, very creepy. And yeah, the twist is a little bit, fucking climate change or whatever, you know. But it is like,
you're
what
not
if?
Gonna tell me Sign sucks, and you're gonna tell me Sixth Sense sucks.
I've heard a lot of stoner what ifs that ended up getting made into dumb movies. The what if plants were, they're not even claiming they're sentient in the movie, but what if as an evolutionary defense mechanism they developed a neurotoxin that caused humans to become fucked up? Isn't a crazy thing. Matter of fact, everybody loves The Last of Us. That's about a fungal strain becoming a neurotoxin that causes zombieism. I would argue that a fucking thing that makes the entire world commit suicide is almost scarier than zombies.
It's up there, dude.
I mean, suicide's inherently creepy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gives you bad vibes. So that movie's good. Lady in the Water was a good movie. Signs is a good movie.
He's made a lot of good shit. I didn't hate Old either.
I haven't seen Old yet or A Knock on the Cabin, but I heard they're both actually good.
Unbreakable and Mr.
Unbreakable,
Glass
all of that shit rules.
Like, yeah, fuck you. If you don't like M. Night Shyamalan, dude.
His Avatar: The Last Airbender did suck dick, though. It did suck dick.
I haven't watched it yet.
But yeah, I'm an M. Night guy. I know this. The first lampooning of M. Night that I remember was done in like the early, like probably 2006 on Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
And they had the, ooh, what a twist.
Ooh, what a twist.
And that's everybody's lampoon now is they're like, oh, what a twist, what a twist. And it's like, okay, but like twists are still cool.
And he makes a good twist.
And just because you know a twist is coming, it's still fun. the old twist, because I am familiar with what happens, is vaguely reminiscent of Cabin in the Woods to me.
Yeah.
Vaguely. It's not
Yeah.
the same exact thing,
Right.
but it's similar. You know
I
what I
always
mean?
really enjoyed the Twilight Zone growing up, like the old,
Yeah.
like the original.
I watched a couple
And
of
I
the
think
new
that's why I
ones
like-
with Jordan Peele, and they were
yeah,
good.
I think that's why I like Shyamalan, man, because they always had a twist of
Yeah.
some sort. Or most of them do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of always made me lean to Shyamalan, because I like a fucking twist, man. I'd never expect a normal ending from that guy.
A lot of people's complaint and signs is, oh, they're allergic to the water. Why did they come to a planet full of water? And I'll say two things. Number one, in War of the Worlds, one of the great sci-fi alien invasion novels, they succumb to the common cold, which you would assume like a technologically advanced planet would know about. At least some diseases in general.
We're pretty technologically advanced too, and we all remember COVID. So
right, but you know,
I'm just saying.
You would think they would have protections against where they're not breathing in any sort of bacteria from our atmosphere.
Yeah.
Secondly, there is like a subtext there that the aliens are actually demons, and the lights in the sky aren't UFOs. They're like vortexes through which these demons are coming in, and because they talk about, you hear on the news at the end of the movie, it appears a few small villages in the Middle East have developed a rudimentary like solution, and the water works. So we're assuming, with that subtext, it's actually holy water, and it's holy water because all of the water in their house, him, a former preacher, blessed Mel Gibson's character. Yeah. So it's a possibility. There's a double subtext there, and a lot of people who like are into conspiracy theories and shit, that are like the religious right-wing type, believe that aliens aren't real, that when they get here, if they get here, yada yada, it's actually demons. Yeah. There's no like technology. What you're seeing is like demons coming through the rift between hell and
they come flying through the firmament, bro, in their fucking saucer.
It's like, if magic's real, first of all, they don't need to do that. They don't. They could show up as anything. Yeah. Anything. The alien thing like started being a thing in the 1900s, and people had reports of what things were. So if demons were all of a sudden going to show themselves, why pick spacefaring things? They could have picked fucking fairies or fucking anything that we already knew about as a culture that we didn't associate as demonic, just supernatural. Why would they have chose aliens? Picked a whole new thing we didn't even fucking know about yet.
Why wouldn't they?
What do you have going on this week, dude?
Oh,
Shuffleboard.
I had a couple egg sandwiches.
Oh, damn, dude. You eat a lot of eggs, huh?
Big egg guy, man.
Yeah,
eggs are cool till they start egging.
Yeah, with the sulfur and stuff.
Man, I just been kind of like really, I've really been on a nostalgia kick this week, man, because, I was watching a thing where they were talking about, like, sometimes current events are actually better than previous events, but you let the nostalgia persuade your mind into thinking. Yes. Mostly with, I'd heard this on a wrestling video. Like, they were talking about, like, how great wrestling's been lately, and a lot of people are just, like, not buying into it because they're still blinded by the nostalgia of their childhood. So I've been
I get
going
that way
back,
with music and other things
and that's
like
what I've been
that.
doing. So this week, man, Slipknot posted that picture of their new masks and the old jumpsuits.
25 years
and I was
or
like,
whatever
man,
it is.
looks like old Slipknot. And I was like, man, I started going down the rabbit hole of a lot of shit that I liked when I was younger. And then I watched 2 back-to-back documentaries on Insane Clown Posse, which was super good. United States of Insanity, which is the one about the FBI labeling the Juggalos as a gang and them trying to get off the list. And the other one was the shockumentary that come out in the mid-90s when Great Milenko dropped. And it's basically just about ICP in general and how everybody's parents hated them and tried to get them banned. And I don't know. I just got a lot of love for those two because they made it. Like, they had a silly idea and they ran with it, and it made them a lot of money. And
well, that's an example of what I'm talking about. Like, they came out of, like, the trailer park, dude.
Literally.
And, like,
I love
made
that
it
shit.
to
ICP fucking rules.
I would say at least millionaire status, probably.
Absolutely. See, that's what I've been doing this week. I just been going down the rabbit hole of just a lot of nostalgia and shit.
I try not to get wrapped up in nostalgia as a idea. Because I want to be in the moment and enjoy things now and look forward to the future. I think a lot of people are preemptively trying to nostalgify the mid 2000s, like the 2010 to 2015 period.
Yeah,
I think that was the worst
I don't think
period
it was a
for
good time either.
everything ever.
I think I would
the
argue
worst
that,
movies, music, everything.
I would argue that 05 to 10 was way fucking better.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Like,
for
if you're
sure.
gonna talk about a 5-year,
2000 to 2010,
that's a great decade. Yeah,
2010 to 2020,
it was not
ass,
fun,
dude. Complete
No.
ass. And I get the
And,
beginning
dude,
of the
we were
2020s.
reminiscing on the nostalgia then.
Yeah.
Like, I seen CKY in 2017, and
Yeah.
I was like, and 10 years ago, like, they were a bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still kind of a big deal, but like,
But they were a nostalgia act by then.
and I was like, yeah. So I mean, no, dude, 2000 to 2010, way better decade than 10 to 20.
And I'm not saying that from like a generational thing. I'm just looking at like art produced, the shit going on. I mean, that was like the LMFAO years.
Yeah.
Everybody was wearing like neon color bullshit. And
Sorry
like,
for party rocking, man.
yeah, just the music sucked. There wasn't a lot of good movies. The culture was ass. It was very. I mean, you got to think too. Those were the years that led into Trump, and then the Trump years. Like people were just all
and COVID
sorts of
happened
fucked
right
up
at
in
the
the
end
head.
of it. So
Yeah,
that's the worst decade was 10 to 20.
I'm loving the 2020s so far.
Dude, so far it's been fucking great.
I know
dude.
we kicked it off with a little Corvid, but hey, dude, that's the rebirth of life right there, you know.
Yeah.
COVID hit right around like
We're
my
open.
midlife era,
Yeah.
and it was like a kick in the fucking teeth,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
I
like, you
love
need to get the fuck out and enjoy
Yeah.
this shit.
And I
'Cause you
really
never know, yeah.
been enjoying life ever since.
Yeah. But
Revamping all the creative shit took a while, but we've been having tons of going and seeing all the bands we've always wanted to see,
which
sucking
is
each other
kinda,
off.
I don't know. And that's not necessarily, hey, come here, dude, let me get that. It's not
Let's
so
hold each
much
other.
that it's nostalgia when we see those bands, but it is cool to have bands that I liked when I was a kid and finally get to see them now and enjoy it as an adult. Because of some of the bands we've seen, just in general, in our lives together, if I would have seen them when I was younger, when I first got into them, I probably wouldn't have appreciated it like I do
Yeah,
now.
that's what with a lot of them for sure.
This week when I was going down that hole, I turned on some Viva La Bam, and I got about 3 episodes in.
Oh, come on, Bam.
And dude, I hate that it was like so good because it's
My
so
name's Bam Margera,
fucking
and today we're gonna
stupid.
fuck my dad in the
It's
ass.
so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. Like I watched that
But
episode where they're at the bar.
That was the culture of the
Yeah,
moment, and you can
yeah.
make arguments about how stupid all that stuff
Yeah.
was too. And I do agree at this point. Like, oh yeah, dude.
but
like,
goddamn, going back and watching it though, fun.
But there was
So
something
fun.
about it, about seeing the DIY aspect of it, seeing the culture that we were already in.
Yeah, that was us.
That
yeah.
was not
Yeah.
cool, kind of become this
Cool.
mainstream thing.
People that I knew that didn't even fuck with skateboarding would come talk to us about Viva La Bam because they watched it and they knew that we liked skateboarding.
and Jackass and shit like
and
that.
And that was kind of cool. Like that was a cool, and that's another reason why I say 2000 to 2010 was a better decade. But like, yeah, the shit they come up with, man, like
It wasn't just because
It
of
was
my
cool,
youth.
man.
I mean, I also think the music in there was better than movies. Post 9/11, there was just like an era of like people arting their fucking hearts out.
yeah,
And then somewhere mid-Obama years, once we recovered from that recession
Yeah.
and things were starting to smooth out, everybody got into this weird funk, dude. All the art became phoned in. Politics got all fucking stupid. I mean, part of me thinks 2012 something happened
it probably did. They tried
mentally.
to tell us, man.
You know, like there was a shift.
Yeah,
And
I
we're
think,
just
in
now
the world was a
recuperating
metaphor,
it.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just now recuperating from
I
it.
think here's a bold prediction for you. I don't know the day or the timestamp right now, but I remember a couple years ago we were doing this show. I had said that I thought the flip phones would come back, and they did. Now they're making the phones that flip open like
The folds.
yeah. My next prediction is that within the next 5 to 10 years we see social media fall.
Joe Stradamus. Yeah, you know what? I've been thinking about that a lot recently, too.
Because I think that it's getting to the point where
the utility's gone and people hate it.
yeah, and everybody always wants to go, like, even the simple things of, like, people buying vinyl. People like to go back to
Vinyl's back. Bookstores are back.
Yeah, people like to go back sometimes, and I've
Concerts are
noticed
back.
a lot
Live
more
comedy.
people. Yeah, that I know that are deactivating their Facebooks, not fucking with social media more. I know people that don't have Instagram. Twitter's dead now. I've been active on Twitter since 2012, and the other day I was doom scrolling X, and I thought to myself like I wanted to delete it.
It sucks since Elon took over, but it was
always my favorite.
It was dying before that.
Like I really feel like we're gonna get to the point where people are just kind of. Oh, you seeing the same shit every day,
gone, right? The utility.
Yep.
First of all, when social media hit, like your first giants, your things like LiveJournal, Xanga.
Camera's being silly.
We're gonna fix all that as we go. It's all right. But when your first social media, and like number one, big one, MySpace.
Yeah.
Hit. We were in this weird era of like people were just getting online. People were really into tech and like where it could take us, where the virtual space could take us, but it ended up being like kind of a giant letdown, and people were like, okay. And we saw during COVID especially, everybody went as deep into virtual as they could because we were stuck at home, and we're like, virtual's not as cool as everybody said. The tech isn't there yet, first of all. Maybe one day it'll be super cool, but everybody's like, oh, we see the full utility of it, and guess what? People prefer in-person shit more.
Yeah.
Like that's something that COVID gave us. So the utility of social media is gone. People don't have the novelty of it anymore. And the few apps out there, aside from the fact that they don't work anymore because they're just ad-serving machines,
right? The
main thing people use them for is like looking at videos or news, or like it's not really the social interactions.
No, yeah. When I get on Facebook and I'm scrolling Facebook and I see like so-and-so got married, so-and-so had a kid, so-and-so did this. That's fine. That's fun. Like, that's cool. Like, that's why I'm there to, like, that's what I want to see. And then somebody had, and I mean, and granted, I don't want to sound too hypocritical because I do share a lot of, like, music and stuff like that. But I like to post when I go to shows or conventions and meet people. I like to share that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I'll share posts of, like, in this day in history or things that I'm interested in, but, like, there's only so many times that I can scroll through Facebook and see Taylor Swift worships the fucking devil.
Well, it's the crazy shit that
2024, like it's shit
all
like that saturates
bad.
My fucking feed, man.
And that's everything. That's all internet utility right now.
It's nothing but politics and dumb shit.
And plus, you notice how we've been corralled into when MySpace was big and when the internet was in its heyday and you had to get on a computer to use it. It was all about websites. I say this all the time. You'd visit I'd probably go to 100 different websites a week for different stuff. Yeah. Now you have 5-10 apps on your phone, and that's your whole use of the internet.
Yep. And if you do discover a new website or you go to a website on your phone, it's because you got the link off of social media.
Yeah.
You're
rarely
cool T-shirt. Let me click that, and then you pull the link up, and it goes to the website, and you visit it. But like you got it off of
and there's
Facebook,
no more just like
Instagram, whatever.
The big internet boom where everybody's got an online website. Guess what? Now if you got an online website, it's probably through Shopify or some like big corporation. Yep. You know what I mean? Like they've corralled us all into. There's no free fucking market. There's no free anything.
Long gone are the days of me giving a fuck about that kind of shit, man.
Yeah, the only reason
I never thought I'd see the day, man, because I've always enjoyed it. But
I want an outlet to post
more and more. I keep
this
really
stuff.
wanting to get away from it. Yeah.
As we get going, I want to keep the outlet to like a YouTube channel to post stuff and an Instagram page. But yeah, I'm on my like 6th 30-day Facebook ban, which is like 6 months out of.
I hit about 3 or 4 in a row at one point. And I really thought they were going to get rid of my account, and I really didn't think that like the censorship had gotten so bad on there. Like,
it's crazy,
back in my day, you could tell somebody to
left.
Eat your dick, and it was fine.
It's the context.
Yeah, so like
if
everybody
you're supporting right-wing shit, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yes. Let me touch ground on this. Let me touch the grass here real quick. So everybody always wants to talk about how the left are pussies, the left cancels everything, the left fucking sucks, whatever. I go on Facebook and I see a video of somebody beating up a trans kid, and a comment says, "Burn the pride flag, fuck
Hell
them
yeah,
queers."
that'll teach the
and I
motherfuckers.
reply to
This
that
is how
with,
I
"Hey
raised
man,
my
you're
kids."
a fucking bitch. I get banned for 30 days, and they're fine, dude.
That's how
Fuck
I've caught
that,
all
man.
my bands, and
Yes.
I know it
It's
sounds like
always
I'm
been-
gallivanting,
Nah,
but it's
dude,
always
fuck that.
some like crazy shit. The most recent one
Yep.
was like a video of a fucking bombing in Gaza in which like a bunch of children died.
Yeah.
There's all these people like, well, you know, the Gazans staged this shit. This isn't
Yep.
real. And then other people being like, well, I fucking hope it's real. They deserve what they
Yep.
fucking get and all this shit. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
these are kids.
If
dude.
you get on Facebook and I've literally been on videos where I've seen people put the fucking N-word, and I reply to it and say, "Your mom's a whore," to a
And you get
racist,
the
and I
ban.
get the ban, dude.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg can eat my dick, dude.
Of course he's right wing. There's no such thing as a corporation.
Ugh,
Dude,
pisses
my
me off.
buddy that's like a young Gen Z guy that's like kind of into some questionable content
Mm-hmm.
is vaguely liberal, but he's definitely into some of the like
Yeah.
fucking Joe Rogan shit.
Yeah.
Even he said, well, if you think about it inherently, if the far wing of left-wingism is like communism and anarchism and shit, then all corporations are inherently right-wing. He's like, even technically all governments, if they're not communist, are right-wing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I wouldn't go that far because there is some middle ground in
No,
between
yeah,
the
yeah,
wings.
yeah,
but with
but-
the corporation thing, for sure, because
He's definitely onto something there.
even
for sure.
middle ground left-wing political philosophy disavows everything that corporations
Right.
do. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's absolutely not wrong. To be the CEO of a corporation, first of all, you have to be willing to take advantage of people in a way that's not compatible with
And
what
like
I would
I
say
always
basic
say,
moral
too,
philosophies of all religions. But
believe whatever the fuck you want, but the left's always been cooler
better.
to it.
Yeah. Cooler, better, faster,
You know,
stronger.
Yeah. Harder.
Yeah. Thicker dicks.
Yeah.
Fuck
what,
harder.
big hogs.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
you know,
like I've always, and like since I was probably, I don't know, I think the music that I listened to influenced that more than
that
the
helped
politics.
a lot. Yeah.
Because I would listen to bands where like I grew up around that, like I grew up in a church, and like most of my family's always been very conservative, and then the people they know are conservative, and like it's always been conservative for the most part, just in general, and being from the small town that we're from and shit. So then I discover a band like, whatever, and I'll start listening to the shit. Oz Rotten was a big one, and I would read the lyrics, and I would,
dude.
AFI, and
They were vegan.
I'm like, whoa, dude,
straight edge.
I'm like, what do you mean?
like
that,
anti-racist, anti-whatever,
this, and this, and I'm like, well, what do you mean this? Then I like start really getting in, and then before you know it, what's that word that I'm looking for? They always, I was indoctrinated, by the left wing. And guess what, buddy? I like it.
Well,
I
this
like it here.
including the music, but because I was like drawn to, we were talking about earlier about how there's a few kind of subcultures that all tend to kind of like have a Venn diagram together. With the ones we were talking about were wrestling, horror movies, metal, and punk music. But because we were into those things, I was, into these subcultures, there was a little bit of like ostracization. You knew you weren't into certain things, and you got kind of like made fun of for it. And then I remember like, well, I'm this ostracized person. And then these other groups, or you see individuals that are ostracized. And because of just like being a normal human, you get that fucking like empathy. And so I think that leads you to, obviously left-wing political philosophies. Newsflash, asshole, are way more empathetic, have a lot more to do with human emotional connection, yada, yada, all that bullshit. I ain't got to tell you. So it felt a lot more natural when I started hearing about the politics and being like, oh, yeah, I agree. One side says that all the people that have grown up to be friends with and relate to can be alive, and one says the other they can't be alive. So I mean, it's pretty easy for me.
It's a very easy, choice to make. It's the same with if somebody identifies as whatever, if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I just recently had a friend who I've learned a lot from, and they go by a different name now. And I literally messaged them, said name, told them I was proud of them, told them I loved them, and guess what?
It's that easy.
I might have made that person's whole fucking day just by taking the time. But that's what a friend does. If you can't support people, then shut the fuck up.
It could have been so natural to them that it's like, but that's also what they need. Because at the end of the day, this should all lead to you never even fucking notice that somebody's gay or transgender or fucking black or something like that.
Whoa.
And then it's not even, and the they thing, the fucking argument against that shit. So, I thought they was multiple people. We've always used they as a singular pronoun.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you know, I talked to my dad. Oh, they coming over? Like, instead of, even if you know the gender, it's always been an interchangeable fucking singular pronoun. I'm tired of people who failed English and grammar talking bullshit about, oh, this is what a pronoun is. Shut the fuck up. You don't know math. You don't know English.
What do you think about the term bisexual falling in line with
like pansexual and shit?
No. Like bisexual implies two genders.
I have heard that, but I also I don't know, because some people will say, well, bisexual means you can say that you acknowledge the existence of the other genders, but you're only attracted to the traditional gender binary. You're attracted to people that obviously present as male or female. The androgynous doesn't appeal to you. Right. But I also think, like, who does the androgynous not appeal to? I've always said, for whatever reason, I think Tilda Swinton is super hot, and it's not just because we look alike.
Dude, I fucking love her. A previous ex, lover, best friend, whatever. I'll call her out. Fuck you, Megan. She's always talking shit because I say that Tilda Swinton's fucking hot, dude.
As the angel Gabriel I still love you, though.
But yes, she's so hot. Like, yes, absolutely.
And she's androgynous.
Boom, I'm glad I got somebody else on this.
A lot of women will admit more freely than men that they're into very androgynous-looking guys. Yeah. But I think a lot of androgynous-looking females are hot. Yeah. I think all kinds of
You're not going to tell me that Boy George in 1984 wasn't cute.
Dude, are you going to tell me that none of those glam metal dudes were fucking your moms and grandmoms back in the day?
Dude,
guess what?
Dude,
they were, and they were wearing more makeup.
Those pictures of Motley Crue back in like 85, 86. Dude, those guys were fucking babes.
Well, and this
I wish I could look that good.
This isn't a new thing. Look at like aristocracy in the fucking like Victorian era and New America, the powdered wigs, the face paint. Yeah. I mean, what we consider normal fucking like gender signifiers with clothes and makeup are all interchangeable. Makeup was invented by men for men in the theater where only men were allowed to act at the time. Right. You know what I mean? As far as dresses, I don't know. To me, it makes more sense from an anatomically, like, biblically, what's pure. Yeah, it would make more sense if men wore dresses. Right. So that they would have the freedom to, like, pee in public, like, they're allowed to pee in nature, you know what I mean? Do all that stuff. And the women have the, like, pure goods that must be covered up, so they should have to wear the pantaloons.
I get
But because perverts, rewrote religion and all of that shit back in the day, they're like, no, women have to wear dresses for easy access to butt fucking. You know what I mean? Or whatever those nasty motherfuckers were into.
But yeah, I've always tried to I like to really, if I see somebody, I mean, I've always liked to push the envelope anyways. I remember one time me and a mutual friend of ours, we kissed at a country concert in front of like a bunch of, like front row.
That was like the thing.
And I won't say his name, even though me and him were like always, like we always make, I won't do it to him on here just because, but yeah, me and him, we did it. And,
Henry and I went out in
it was
high
fucking
school.
hilarious. And I've always liked to push, and if I see a dude that I think's handsome, I'll say it. I don't care who's around me. I'll say, that's a handsome guy. And it's crazy how people get cringe about that. And
straight
like,
as an arrow,
fuck that guy. And
I'd feel comfortable saying that.
I don't give a shit, dude.
Me and Henry were like 17, in the middle of it was like summertime. We went out to the Waffle House, middle of the night, like 3, 4 in the morning. Just me and him, no cell phones, no video, no fucking secret YouTube pranks. We, for like the whole meal, pretended to be a gay couple that was having a dispute, just for no reason. And I'd be like, so who was it then? Who was it that was at the house? Was it Chet?
Oh, no.
Don't tell me it was fucking Chet. No. And he'd be like, you know what? Yes, it was Chet. Can I get some more ketchup for my hash browns, please? Thank you so much. It was Chet, because you haven't been loving me proper. And, you know, not those exact words. Yeah, but...
Loving me proper.
Especially when I was younger, I loved to, like, see what the fuck... As an adult, I'm less into, like... I kind of leave people alone, but at the same time, I'm like... I'm the type of person where nothing surprises me. I can see a crackhead, I can see people... As long as it's not insane, as long as it's not, like, somebody giving somebody shit, or two people just, like, raw fucking with kids around... People are people, dude. Do whatever the fuck you want. If it's not hurting anybody... and it's not unsafe, get after it, you know what I mean? So, that being said, if people get uncomfortable with just the fact that there's two gay guys near them, fuck them, go home.
Yeah, you're a pussy.
I'm over it. Not the right wing. Because, look, I don't think all people that believe right-leaning things have, like, this inherent moral failing.
No. I know plenty of people that are right-leaning that I think are great people.
Yeah,
that I genuinely love. Yeah.
Of the right-wing political philosophy that leans alt-right, that leans dictatorship, fascist, Nazi, all that shit, is having what I genuinely like to believe is its last dying breath. That's why you get all these weird psychos, like not only your mass shooters and like the visible psychos, but your internet weirdos, all your like Trump fanatics, like who take shit like way too far. It's just this like, they know the world's changing. They know people... Gen Z and like Gen Alpha are less like our generation in that they don't have a lot of people that are like, that make it a point to be like, oh, I've got a gay friend, I've got a black friend. They're just straight up more accepting than we are. And I do think in a few generations, you'll have that thing where people don't even, like, feel the need to call things trans or non-binary. Guys will just feel comfortable wearing dresses if they feel like wearing dresses. Women will feel comfortable. You'll be able to just wear what the fuck you want, present how you want. And the main thing people will be considered, they'll just call you by your fucking name or whatever. I do think
Wouldn't
that's
that be
coming.
Cool? Yeah.
Well, I think we're working towards a society where so much other shit's going to be the focus, like staying alive during climate change and stuff like that. That I think
World
people...
War III and all that cool stuff,
We got to stop Israel. We got to fucking stop all the shit going on in Europe. Yeah. All the shit going on in the Middle East.
Yeah.
We got to stop hanging out.
Crash, dude, if we
the
don't
damn
stop,
firmament, dude. We got to worry about.
The flat Earth's gonna stop.
The eclipsed too hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mitsubishi eclipsed us.
Yeah.
And
now
all the prophecies were wrong, but they have new ones, dude, about how the eclipse changed. And now you can see. You see that thing where, like, there's a psychosis where people see, like, demon faces and reptilians? And everybody's like, oh, dude, this is a shift you're going to start seeing. You're going to see who's possessed and who's reptilian. Oh, no. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, really you did start seeing that and it was like Joel Osteen, Donald Trump, fucking...
That would rule.
You know, Tucker Carlson.
They live.
Why are we trying to give Tucker Carlson, like, a cool guy comedy podcast
Who was it that made
He's
fun
a
of him
fucking
said,
Nimrod, dude. He's a loser.
They said he packs Zen cans, like dip.
Yeah,
there's no
dude.
tobacco in Zen.
He's so fucking lame, dude. Even, like, associating with that dude is so fucking lame. He's a nerd. He's a giant dork. He's also a CIA op. He literally tried to get into the CIA, but he like wasn't smart enough, so they were like, work in the media for us.
I would rather, personally, I would rather watch a 10-minute video of of George Bush painting pictures than hear Tucker Carlson. Like, I thought that the rehabilitation of war criminal George Bush was bad, buddy. Was I wrong? They said hold my beer. Yeah. I got one better. We're gonna make Tucker Carlson cool and acceptable, and I'm like, what? No, you can't do that, dude. Like, that guy's been on my TV for 20 fucking years telling me the things I like, the things I'm into, the things I support, the people I love are all pieces of shit.
We failed. The left failed in making cool guys.
Yeah.
So now the right gets to and look at who their cool guys are: Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Tate,
Kid Rock.
That Kid Rock. That's the cool guys now. We got to take this shit back.
No, dude.
We're cool. We fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking.
We're badass.
Fuck
dude.
hot chicks. Do drugs. I live a moral and wholesome lifestyle, and I believe in a higher power. But I will hail Satan. I got a pentagram tattooed on me. You can be cool and still be chill.
Man, ain't that a crazy concept?
You know what I mean? Yeah. But people are fucked up. You know, hardcore Christianity's having a resurgence, which you hate to see. Because Christianity was starting to soften up a bit. People were starting to wise up. Yeah. It's the dying breath, dude. They know it's over. They know that people are waking up to the bullshit. And they're just grasping for straws. There is going to be another, like, great war. It's going to be Star Trek, dude. It's going to be the third great war, and it's so bad that people realize, oh, shit, we got to work together.
God, I hope there's big robots so bad.
I hope we survive. You know what? We will, dude.
We will, dude.
Me and you, we're going to be in our 60s when the war's over.
Yeah.
And we're going to help rebuild society. I'll get whoever pregnant, dude. If the wife says it's okay, I'll repopulate
I really
society.
hope, though, that somebody out there that is listening to me, that's in the higher ups, man, please, we got to have mobile suit Gundams, man. We got to... How can we fight nationwide wars without giant robots, man? But no,
I disagree because that's the robots are gonna. You ever seen the giant robot movies, the superhero movies? All of like civilization, they destroy entire cities. Who's got to rebuild that? Me, the working man.
Don't ruin
the guy with his sleeves cut.
I like to think we'd be. I mean, we've slowly become a work smarter, not harder. We can't use those big robots to rebuild shit.
I think we could come up with something. But look at us now. We're finally figuring out AI, and instead of using it to take away the really difficult jobs and make society a better place, we're trying to use it to phase out writers and artists.
Yeah, stupid.
Fuck the robots, dude.
Well, I mean...
I'm becoming kind of a solar punk, dude.
But I'm opposite, though, because I'm like, we're the kind of people that instead of using a robot, we drop a nuke and kill the whole fucking planet.
But what's a robot gonna... The robot thing's impractical. I love Gundam, dude. I love Mobile Suit Gundam. I love Power Rangers. I love Voltron. But it really is impractical as a weapon. A giant robot is impractical.
The fans out there, they love when I do this.
You don't need...
I've been doing it since 2019.
You don't need
Anytime we talk about this shit, I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool if they had robots to fight each other?
A humanoid robot's like the worst kind of robot
you don't want that.
No, it's got to be... Because that shape is too hard to keep, like, stable. Right. Those dog robots do really well. Yeah. Pretty much my whole... I don't plan on, like, being a gun guy or anything like that, but I am planning on developing a series of non-lethal weapons that will disarm those police robot dogs.
Yeah.
Because I think you're going to be seeing a lot of those now.
Yeah.
I used to follow this guy. I'm not going to shout him out. But I will call him by name. His name's Wrangler Star. Mm-hmm. He used to do a lot of, like, you know, fucking home repair type of shit, farming, gardening, making your own whatever. He's gone very right-wing the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. But in that, he did make a great video on making these balloons filled with oil, black paint, and sand that you throw on the dogs, because the black paint and oil will cover up all the cameras and sensors, and then if they try to wipe it off, the sand scratches up the glass.
Hell yeah.
So, like that. And then, you know,
remember
in addition,
this, people.
they say, like, regular water balloons targeted, or, like, water guns targeted at, like, certain areas that have, like, exposed circuits and shit. So, yeah, there's ways to take these things out. Robot militarized policing will be a huge factor in the coming war. But I feel fine about it, dude. You know, those guys suck.
Yeah.
The bad guys can't win. I just don't believe it
sucks,
happens.
Man. Yeah, I don't think it does either. I also don't think that... I don't know. I had this, not an epiphany, but I was just standing there the other day, and I was like thinking to myself, like, you know, one day the Earth's not going to be here, man. one day the Earth's gonna be gone.
Yeah, but until
And
then, we
then-
got to make sure it doesn't.
No,
suck.
yeah.
It's up to
You're
us.
right. You're right. But I don't know how many, how long that is. What's the scientific timeline for that?
We've got like another 400 million years, I
All right,
think,
so
till the sun blows up.
So 405 million years from now, none of this will exist anymore.
Well,
And
dude,
that is
you could
kinda
look
wild.
at
That is kind of
the Earth might be here, but all of humanity might be gone. It could be gone, and as soon as think about this, if a big enough asteroid hit like tomorrow, within a year, all of humanity and most of the life on Earth could be dead.
Yeah.
Million years, you got life coming back. 100 million years, maybe you got some form of intelligent life coming back. They'll never even know we were here.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Depressing,
over with.
man,
They're gonna
dude.
find if like civilization gets wrecked and comes back soon enough to where there's still remnants, they're gonna find shit like our skyscrapers, and they're gonna be like, they must have had aliens helping them. There's no way that they could have built this on their own. This must have been some sort of religious worship center that harnessed the power of electricity.
Yeah, and it's a fucking McDonald's,
Yeah,
bro.
it's a goddamn. It's Trump Tower.
Yeah, fucking Trump Tower. They're like, look at this Taj Mahal, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's
yeah, like it. I don't know.
they're
man.
gonna find a
It's,
copy of Lord of the Rings, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this Frodo character saved humanity. We must worship him." You know what I mean?
God, that's horrible.
Or they'll find Harry Potter and be like, he sacrificed himself so that all of humanity could live free of the evil Voldemort.
The boy who lived.
It's like, who knows, you know?
And I really feel like, man, I don't know. I really have this internal conflict of the older when I was younger. I remember, you know, obviously there was a point in time where I was like in church because I was like made to be in church. But like as I got older, I drifted away from church, and everybody told me that, well, you know, when you get older, you're going to be more conservative and you're going to get more religious and all these things. But if anything, man, I've went the opposite. And it really makes me just think and ponder shit even more that, like...
I've become more spiritual. Like,
yeah,
I feel more...
And that's fine, yeah. I can get down with that, yeah.
What life is now and what possibilities of afterlife could even mean now. Because when I was religious, I was young, and I didn't even really, like, ponder. I didn't really, like, fucking think about what the meaning of life was, or I just accepted that God was and all this shit. And then I went atheist for a little bit, and now I'm more agnostic, where I'm like, I do believe in something. I just also know that there's no knowing.
I definitely don't think that it's as black and white as heaven and hell. And I have kind of
Or
shifted
black and
where,
white is nothingness and life and everything. I think there could be multiple layers.
Because I used to be very
everything.
big on that. Like, when you die, that's it.
Yeah.
There wasn't nothing before you were born.
You know, I
there's
never
nothing
really
after,
bought into
you know.
that. Even when I was like mildly atheistic, I was like, maybe there's no God, but maybe the universe has a natural soul recycling mechanism.
Yeah.
To where...
Well, I tell you what, I'm very thankful that my soul ended up in this body.
Well, I'll tell you something, dude, and this is going to sound gay and hooky, but I can see it's weird to say like 100 million years from now, because our perception of what years are and the one warp around the sun from planet Earth is going to be meaningless to our souls by then, but we're still going to be connected on this part of the universe that's so far, dude. Yeah. And some folks would say it's heaven, some folks would call it the afterlife, but it's really just the next thing after this. Yeah. But we're going to be together, dude. That's why we're together now. We were together in the last place.
Yeah. I like to think
my
that
wife's
too,
going to
man.
be there too. And guess what, dude? You got a future wife. She's hot as hell, dude.
I'm sure she
Big
is. Big
titties,
I'm
dude.
sure she is. And if we're wrong about all of this, dude, I hope when I die they let me pack shorts, because I have a feeling it's going to be pretty warm where we're going, buddy.
Hey, look, dude. If I go to if I go to hell for believing that you should just be nice to people and
then
chill
I didn't
out,
want to be in heaven anyways, baby.
Then what's God's problem?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's another, I try to live a life cool enough where I'm nice enough to people, and if I can't get in, then that's probably not anywhere I want to be.
You know, I was having this moment. I want to be real candid with you here when I talk about it as I'm more spiritual. Yeah. I have this thought about, like, I really don't know what's afterlife.
No, I don't either.
My most concrete thought is this. Death is the one thing. Nobody's died and come back. You've come close to death, you've reached the precipice, but what death is never coming back to life. That's what death is.
Yeah.
So therefore, knowing what happens after death is unknowable. It's unknowable. Nobody will ever report back. And I think even if science has the mechanisms to learn everything else about how the supernatural works and find out ghosts are real and find the parallel dimensions, I think there's still going to be some sort of barrier between where we're at now and what happens when we leave this fucking body, right?
Yeah.
That being said, a little bit more spiritual. All I care about now is like feeling like I'm a good person. I don't feel like I need to read a special religious doctrine to tell me which rules to follow. I can tell when I make people feel good and bad, what makes me feel good and bad. So I've been like, I'm just going to live that way. I'm going to be more spiritual about it. And I'm going to be more open about the fact that I feel strongly about like these morals.
Yeah.
And the more I've felt that way, the more bad shit has like seemed to pop up in my life. To the type of bad shit that's like, you know, where you like stub your toe in like such an inconvenient and weird time that you look up and you're like, you might even be an atheist, but you still look up in the sky and you're
God,
like,
why?
what did I do? What did I do?
Yeah.
And I was having that thought. I was like, let me reset this video. I was having that thought. I was like, well, you know what, dude? Maybe all this negative karma is me. Could it possibly be telling me I'm wrong? Could all the asshole right-wingers be right? Could all this stuff actually be wrong and Satan be tricking me?
Yeah.
And this is God trying to tell me? And I'm like, no, you know what? This is further proof that I'm on the right path. Because when you're trying to do the right thing, and you know this better than anyone, when you really set out to do the right thing, that's when you meet the most obstacles in your life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's kind of my philosophy now. Yeah. When something gets set down in front of me, I know that I need to keep going that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless it's a fucking sign that says, you know, fucking road ends 50 feet ahead. I know how to, like, not be stupid, too. But I'm also like, no, you know what? It is harder because the world is an amoral place. Because humanity has no inherent... We're born in this fucking shell. Some people naturally go evil. Some people naturally go good and wholesome. Right. And you can change people into one or the other. Some people, though, are stuck the way they are, for better or worse. I think some people are stuck good. Yeah. Some people are stuck evil. Maybe we can fix it one day. But
I think I'm at that point where I'm at that point in life where like a lot of people go find religion and something to cling to. Because I have always struggled, like my biggest fear has always been dying. But I think as I got older, the main thing I've tried to work on is that death is a natural part of life and that it is not something that I should fear like I do.
It's happened to everybody that's ever lived.
Regardless of whatever happens on the other side, though, I just have to keep reminding myself that I am good people, and I try to do right by others.
And even if there's nothing.
Even there's nothing, if whatever for the next how many years until nobody remembers me, if they will just say, well, he was a pretty good dude, then I think I've done all right. Man.
Even more reason. If there's nothing, if there's no reward or punishment or lesson or anything. Yeah. If we just die and nothing else ever happens to us, the spark goes out, I'll still want to have been a good person. Yeah. I want to have made people happy, even more. Because if this is all there is, then the happiness you experience matters even more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everything matters 20,000 times more.
I had a good sense of humor, and I made others laugh, and sometimes laughter's the best medicine, buddy. So I think
and obviously, dude, we do drugs, we say curse words. Like, morality is ambiguous. There's a lot of gray areas. But when I say there is a definitive good and evil, people play these, like, ethics games, these, like, moral quandaries, these paradoxes, you know. Right. But really, it's not that difficult. You know, you have this trolley fucking problem, right? Like, dude, one person on one track, 5 on the other. The train's going to hit the one. Do you divert it? Kill the 5, save the 1, yada yada. And it's like, well, really, just save them all. And if you can't, then try. Yeah. And if they all die, whatever happens, you know,
Yeah.
The point is that you try to do a good thing, whatever. In that situation, I think the problem is find the person putting people on the train tracks and kill them.
Yeah.
That solves that problem.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to be the guy saying even murder can be moral and like righteous. I don't want to be that guy.
No.
But sometimes, like I said, there are some mental problems that can't be cured. There's some people that are going to be evil and vengeful. There's been, like Hitler types. I feel like those, you can either imprison them somewhere super secure forever, or you got to take them out. And that's the moral thing to do. That's one of those few things where it's like kill one to save millions. And it's like, well, yeah, like if that's the guy that was going to kill him, then yeah. Like, yeah, that's, right. I think that's an obvious solution, Pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Plenty of gray area for all types of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like murder is wrong, but if you got to murder to save somebody, then
so be it.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Damn.
Being a good person
Did we just figure it all out?
Is philosophy easy?
Crazy.
Oh wow, dude. It's almost like we were born at a time where all the hard thinking was done for us, and we were just kind of. Do you feel like a part of human intelligence is not only inherited genetically, but generationally through the culture, wherein you're born with a broader understanding of the world than somebody born generations before you, just naturally right out the gate, because of the gradual growth of humanity as a species, whether it's locked in your genetics or just in the culture or a mix of both. It does seem like, I'm not making the argument that we're inherently smarter than people generations before us. In fact, science would say our brains are basically the same mechanism as they were when we first became Homo sapiens. But the accumulation of knowledge, right, what makes a person smart, is having all this knowledge accumulated and ordered and knowing how to use it. Well, when you're born in a later generation where all the hard information searching has been done, you get to just kind of like know the answers without having to have like wondered about the same questions. So you, right out the gate, have a larger wealth of knowledge than somebody born 100 years ago. And it almost seems like you get that, though, before you start learning stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you put a TV in front of a baby from 200 years ago, I don't think he would do what a baby does today and stare at it and goo and gaw and giggle. I think he would be like, what the fuck? And freak the fuck out.
Well,
I think something in our DNA knows, like, hey, TVs exist now. When your soul's coming down here, it's like, by the way, you exist in a time where you can see people through the telephone. And so as a baby, you comprehend it more easily than a baby 200 years ago would have. Does that sound crazy?
Let me say this.
Hit this and catch up.
And I'm good. And you tell me, I'm good. Right. You tell me if I'm on the same page as you. If you said take the baby 200 years ago and put the TV in front of him. I'll just take any average, we'll just say a 25-year-old, and you took them and they didn't know anything at all, right?
Right.
You just had a 25-year-old, they didn't know anything. And you took all of humanity and civilization and everything that we've learned within the past 200, 500, whatever years, and you crammed it all into their head. That person would not be any more intelligent than those that came before him, to me.
Because they wouldn't be able to comprehend it.
Yeah.
But we can comprehend it.
We can comprehend it, but just because I know how something works does not make me more intelligent than the person that created it. Because they created it. Who's to say I could have done that?
Well, knowing how something works, quote unquote, and really knowing how it works is like a totally, because I know that the lights work by turning the switch on, and I know that electricity. Yeah, but
I'm not even saying that. Like I'm saying, if you broke everything down to the basic, rudimentary whatever of something, and taught me every single bit of it, and I know it all 100%, I still don't think that would make me more intelligent or even on the same level as the person that invented it, is what I'm saying. Because I didn't invent it. Because I did not have that. Like, if I did not,
because it's already there.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason we'd be able to comprehend that, like, whatever extra 500 years of information more easily than the other guy is we have the confidence of being born in a world where we know that shit exists and works.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to be... Like, we're born and we already just kind of know, like, oh, electricity's a thing and it works.
Yeah.
So by the time we're, like, 25, we have a vague understanding of how everything works. Whereas somebody 200 years ago, they'd have to start from, like, the bare minimum, learn that it's even possible to have electricity, and then coal-fired electricity, and then to send it hundreds of miles. You know what I mean? So... I do think there might be, there's a weird kind of esoteric theory based loosely out of something in Hinduism. They call it the Akashic record. That term, I believe, Akashic, is based out of Hinduism. But it's this idea that all information about matter and energy and what the universe is and can do, and basically all information about, not necessarily like events and people and future telling, but all the information about technology and mathematics and what you could build with what we have is baked into the universe in this Akashic record. And the idea with the esoteric theory is that people have been able to tap into it at various points in time, and that's how you get these genius breakthroughs, like when Einstein discovered relativity or when Graham Bell invented the telephone, shit like that. They were able to get into this cooked in understanding. I mean, the laws of physics, right? We only discovered them. These are principles that were like, apparently already existent in the universe, always working. So the idea is that all of that information is out there.
Yeah.
Maybe a way to tap into it, dude. I think maybe through drugs.
And my question for
witchcraft.
you is water wet, man?
No, water does the wetting.
He's one of those.
Well, is oil slippery? Or does oil make things slippery?
Oil's wet.
No. It's not
like,
wet.
Just like water.
Oil can't be wet because oil and water can't mix.
Look at him. He's one of those, dude. Next he's going to tell me the Earth's flat, man.
Well, no, I mean, that's an actual principle of something. Oil and water don't mix.
And that would make sense. Maybe I am, dude.
That's why the oil floats on top of the water. The density, buoyancy, volume.
I forget what happened, but I was one of those that did not think that water was wet. And then I learned something that made me think that water was wet. And now you have somewhat converted me back.
What is wetness? What does it mean to be wet? Answer him for real.
To be watered, bro.
Not to be water.
Yeah, no, to be watered. Like that's
wetness is a moisture
of
caused by
water, yeah.
Or at least a liquid. And all liquids,
is fire burning. Because what happens when you touch fire? You get burned. So wouldn't it make sense that water would be wet? Because it's when it gets on you, you're wet.
Well, fire itself is the plasma from matter burning.
Yeah.
But fire is hot.
Yes.
And heat burns you.
If fire is hot and heat burns you, wouldn't water be wet because it makes you wet when it's on you?
Okay, water wets you.
I hope that I don't sound as stupid as I think I am.
Heat
right
burns you. Okay. Fire, you can have, here's the thing, you can have cool flames. You can have fire that's cool enough to touch.
Yeah, you can have something that's hot that's not fire and it burn you. I get what you're saying.
Okay, all right.
We're on the same page.
So it's not the fire that burns you.
Right.
But it is the water that wets you. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Water is not wet.
I get that.
Water does the wetting.
So if I dump Coke on you, you're not wet, you're just sticky?
Wet
so
and
Coke
sticky.
does the sticky?
Wet and sticky, but Coke's like mostly water.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's such a hard... Man, I guess I
Here's
am
the
silly.
thing. There's
it's
other
a hard
liquids.
concept for me to grasp.
Check
Water's
this out.
Not wet.
Here's one for you. Mercury, a metal that is a liquid at room temperature. Here's another fun thing about mercury. It's not going to get absorbed by your clothes or your skin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if you get touched with that liquid, it's not going to make you wet. You can hold liquid gallium, which is similar to mercury. You can actually hold it in your hand, and it's not toxic. Rub it all over your fucking hands. There will not be a bit of residue left afterwards. You can try to rub it into your clothes. Won't get them wet. It's a liquid, but it can't wet. Oil is a liquid, technically, but it doesn't make things wet. It makes them slippery. It makes them oily. Water wets. Liquids that are made out of water wet. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my bed talk. Okay? That's kind of like a very hated millennial tweet humor thing to say. Thank you for coming to my TED talk.
Yeah, I know.
People hate
millennial. I know.
Internet comedians hate pretty much everything millennials have ever done. It's a big
and they're all millennials.
Yeah, and most of them are millennials.
Here's
the thing. I don't know, dude. Everything that I like is made fun of, but then I listen to the people that make fun of it, and everything they like sucks. So I've never been... I won't say never. When I was a kid, it bothered me when people make fun of me, but now it's like... There's never been somebody make fun of me that was cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This place sucks.
Yeah. You damn right.
Did you have a good episode, dude?
I did.
Did you have a good podcast tonight, dude?
Did you enjoy this one, dude? I thought this was fun.
You guys enjoy it?
I hope you guys did.
Hell yeah. We love y'all. We'll see you next time.
So much.
We love...
Oh, man. I was like in the midst of a panic attack.